when fatigue is a whisper. At 74, I thought fatigue was just part of the deal, just my body quietly slowing down, accepting age as it came. Like many of us, I dismissed exhaustion as inevitable. But fatigue is never just fatigue. It's a warning sign your body has been whispering, a subtle message I ignored for too long. I want you to listen closely, because feeling constantly tired isn't a normal part of getting older. It's a quiet alarm, gently urging you to pay attention before something deeper sets in. Fatigue might be your body's gentle way of signaling imbalance, inflammation, or emotional strain. Together, let's read the signals your body is giving, understand the hidden reasons beneath your exhaustion, and find the answers before they quietly slip away unnoticed. If this resonated with you even just a little, take a moment. Leave a comment, share your story, and if you believe others need to hear this too, pass it on. Your voice might be exactly what someone else needs today. Thank you for being here. And if you subscribed, thank you for joining this quiet journey. Chapter 1: Mitochondrial Slowdown. My doctor once told me fatigue wasn't just getting older. It began inside every cell in tiny structures called mitochondria, our body's energy factories. Over decades, these mitochondria quietly lose efficiency, producing less of the energy molecule ATP. It's like a subtle dimming of the lights inside you. This energy loss isn't noticeable at first, but over time, your steps feel heavier. Your muscles burn quicker. Everyday tasks, like climbing stairs or carrying groceries, take more out of you than they should. I remember struggling to rake leaves one autumn, something I had done with ease just a year before. At first, I told myself, it's just aging. But that's not the full story. Science shows mitochondrial decline is worsened by poor diet, lack of exercise, stress, and even certain medications. It happens slowly, almost invisibly, until it doesn't. The good news? Mitochondria are resilient. They respond to movement, oxygen, and care. Gentle daily walks, omega-3 fats, deep sleep. They all feed your cells what they've been quietly craving. What I thought was simply aging was my body whispering, I need help. When I finally listened, the fog began to lift. Not overnight, but enough to feel alive again. Chapter 2: Hormonal Imbalance. At first, the tiredness felt ordinary, like the kind of fatigue that follows a poor night's sleep. But weeks passed, then months, and something inside me felt off. The exhaustion lingered even after long rest. My mind was foggy, my mood dulled. I started to feel like a dim version of myself. What I didn't realize was that my hormones, my body's silent messengers, were slowly drifting out of sync. Cortisol, the stress hormone, crept higher as anxiety and sleepless nights took their toll. This led to even more fatigue, irritability, and shallow sleep. Melatonin, which once helped me drift off effortlessly, declined with age, leaving my nights restless and mornings groggy. Even my thyroid slowed down, quietly lowering my metabolism and draining energy I didn't know I was losing. It felt like everything was slightly misaligned. Nothing sharp, nothing drastic, just off. Eventually, I got curious. I spoke to my doctor and asked for a full hormonal panel. We adjusted small things: my sleep schedule, my caffeine intake, even how I handled stress. I began meditating, dimming lights earlier in the evening, walking more during the day. These weren't dramatic changes. But slowly, I felt different, lighter, calmer, more like myself. What I thought was just age was my body calling for balance. If this resonated with you even just a little, take a moment. Leave a comment, share your story. And if you believe others need to hear this too, pass it on. Your voice might be exactly what someone else needs today. Thank you for being here. And if you subscribed, thank you for joining this quiet journey. Chapter 3: Silent inflammation. For a long time, I believed inflammation only meant swollen joints or visible injury. I never imagined it could be silent, hidden, chronic, and quietly draining my energy. But that's exactly what was happening. It started as a vague heaviness, a sluggishness that sleep couldn't fix. I felt like I was walking through molasses. Blood tests later showed elevated CRP levels, markers of inflammation I had never heard of. The doctor called it low-grade systemic inflammation. I called it exhaustion without reason. Our immune system, when activated constantly, even at a low level, uses immense energy. And it doesn't just affect fatigue. Chronic inflammation is now linked to everything from cardiovascular disease to cognitive decline. It turns the body's natural defense into a quiet thief, stealing clarity, vitality, and resilience. What shocked me most was how it built up silently. Years of processed foods, inactivity, unmanaged stress. I thought I was eating okay. I thought short walks were enough. But my body was asking for more, so I listened. I changed my meals, more greens, berries, olive oil, fish. I moved daily, even just a little. I learned to lower my stress, not ignore it. Within weeks, the fog began to lift. Not completely, but noticeably. My body wasn't failing me. It was fighting for me, and it needed my help. Chapter 4: Emotional and Social Exhaustion. It wasn't just my body that felt tired. It was something deeper, quieter, like my spirit was shrinking. After retirement, and after losing a few close friends, the house grew too quiet. Days blurred together. I stopped calling people. They stopped calling me. I thought I was just resting, but I was slowly disconnecting. Loneliness isn't just an emotional ache. Science shows it increases cortisol, lowers immune response, and disrupts sleep. The body treats isolation like a threat-activating stress systems meant for danger. My fatigue wasn't just from age or effort. It was from invisible, unspoken strain. I didn't realize how much energy connection brings until it was gone. I started volunteering once a week, called an old friend, made conversation with strangers in line. At first, it felt awkward, forced. But little by little, I noticed something. I had more energy on those days. I laughed more. I slept deeper. Fatigue isn't always about what you do. Sometimes it's about who you've stopped doing it with. My healing didn't come from vitamins or rest. It came from reaching out, showing up, and letting others in. Reconnection doesn't require a crowd. It starts with one sincere moment, a wave from a neighbor, a shared memory, a hand on your shoulder. These small gestures reminded me I was still part of something. And when you feel seen, your body responds. The weight lifts, the breath deepens. You come back to life, not all at once, but enough to remember how it feels. Final reflection, listening to the whisper. Now, at 74, I understand something I missed for too long. Fatigue isn't just physical. It's cellular, it's hormonal, it's emotional, and it's social. Each layer pulls at the next, forming a web of quiet exhaustion that's easy to ignore until it's not. We live in a culture that normalizes being tired. That calls rest laziness and ignores the whispers of the body until they become screams. But I've learned something else. Listening early matters. Whether it's supporting your mitochondria with better food, balancing your hormones with rest, calming inflammation with movement, or reconnecting with people who lift your spirit, each step counts. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Your tiredness isn't a failure. It's a message. Your body isn't broken. It's asking you to pay attention. And if you've come this far, that means you're already listening. Now give yourself permission to act. Tiny steps, steady breath. You'll be surprised how far that can take you. There is quiet power in choosing to notice yourself again. In asking gently, "What is my body trying to tell me?" That question alone can start a transformation, not because it solves everything, but because it reminds you that you matter, that your energy, peace, and presence deserve protection. Fatigue is not the end. It is a turning point if you let it be.